Hello everyone, I'm Vasanta. I'm a VM Silgaonkar student, final year student of the college. So today I am here in order to speak about integrity as a way of life. My main topic on integrity is what we say, what we do, and what we say we do. Now let me begin with a small story about the same. Now in the last holidays, when my aunt had come down, she had a small fight with her daughter. And she said, you know what, you need to build your character. Now this is something which even I heard when I was young, but I really wanted to know as to what exactly it meant. So therefore I went on to do a small research on the same. Now during my research, when I read through a particular article in a newspaper, I came across a beautiful quote which was quoted by Peter Kane. He said that develop your character so that you are a person of integrity. Now this was again something new for me. So thus, I really wanted to know what exactly it meant to be a person of integrity. So now again, I went on to a smaller research. So first I began by understanding the meaning of integrity. Now the meaning of integrity is that it means to be honest and to have the qualities of strong moral values and principles in life. Wow! This sounds so great, but we know that in practical life, it does become really difficult in order to incorporate these qualities in us, in order to live in a life, especially when we have so many complexities in our life, right? Now furthermore, I decided in order to understand whether there's any person who's actually having all the qualities in order to be called as a person of integrity. So thus through my research, I came across some basic traits which are really important. First is about being honest and truthfulness. Second is about being humble. Third is being trustworthy. Fourth is about being reliable. Fifth, responsible. Sixth is being respectful towards your fellow mates. Seven is that you should always help the people who are in need. Eighth is always putting the others before your choices and helping them out always throughout their life. And next, the ninth one was that you should not be judgmental in life. That is, always give an opportunity to the other individuals in order to explain themselves. And the last one, which is the most beautiful one, is that always be open for healthy criticism. Always admit your mistakes, try to learn from them and try to grow with them. Now, apart from these qualities, there are some other attitudes and behavior which also a person of integrity does have. So when I went through understanding the research, then I came across one of the speeches by Joel Ostrin. So he said that a person of integrity knows what is right. He says what is right and he does what is right. Wow, what a person, right? Furthermore, he continued by saying that a person of integrity is always consistent in life. They are not double-minded. And the most beautiful aspect is that to be a person of integrity, you need not follow any strict rules, guidelines, or morals or principles. It's just that the person has to be undivided and he has to be true to himself. It is very important in order to put forth yourself as you are. Because remember that when you always try to pretend or fake yourself, then people will not really like you. Maybe today they will think that, oh, this person is great. But after some time when they realize that you were pretending or you were having a fake personality, then no one would respect you or no one would come back to you or no one would even want to talk or live with you in the society. So thus it becomes really important in order to have these qualities in order to be a healthy person and to be successful in your career. Now apart from this, what I realized on personal experiences is that it's very important to be a person of integrity, specifically in your job. So now apart from all these qualities, we also need to understand integrity in other aspects, right? So now I should get into that. So now first we talk about integrity towards your environment. Now integrity towards environment is all about having a healthy environment, keeping your environment clean, having sufficient food that you need, clean healthy food, and also ensuring that same is available to your other fellow beings. Then we move on to integrity towards your body and your mind. Integrity towards your body is about not violating your body by consuming drugs, alcohol or cigars. Why do you have to do something when you know it is definitely going to affect your body parts, right? Second, it is about integrity towards your mind, which is very important today. Why? Because often we tend to judge another person, the opposite person, without even knowing them properly, that they might be a negative individual, which is absolutely wrong. It is very important to ask them what exactly they are doing. Always look at a person in a positive manner. Always try to understand their actions and their views in a positive manner. Always be open-minded in order to know the ideologies of the other parties also, because that in turn definitely helps you in growing and achieving success or achieving the goal that you have made for yourself, which is thus extremely important. And that is one of the reasons why people with integrity are today extremely successful in their life. Then we move on to integrity towards your partner and towards the members of society. Now you must be wondering as to why am I saying that you need to be integrate, you should have integrity towards your partner. It is very simple. It is very important to be responsible towards your partner, to respect your partner, to always help your partner and always talk about it, right? And this integrity is one of the main component which tries to avoid all kind of misunderstandings that may be there between your partner. And remember that misunderstanding is the core reason, according to legal research, which is the reason for the breakups in the society today, which is really sad, right? Now, apart from your partner and apart from being responsible towards your family members only, it is also important to be responsible towards the society as a whole. You need to remember that whenever you make any promise, it is really important to ensure that you can do a promise. So thus what many speakers say is that only make a promise when you know that you can achieve it or when you can accomplish it. So one of the speaker, that is Joel Ostrin, he very clearly says that do not promise people of the moon when you know that you cannot reach the clouds. Wow, what an example, right? Which explains everything. So what further he wants to explain is that when a person makes 10 promises and he's not able to make, and when he's not able to just do one, then it's fine. People will still not really take that into consideration. But when you make 10 promises and you're not able to do all the 10 promises, then it is absolutely bad. It means that people will not have any more faith in you because they know that whatever you speak, whatever you do, whatever you promise is all false in nature. Thus, it becomes extremely important in order to be honest in life, because that would only help you and lead you towards success in your life. So what exactly I wanted to say through my speech is that if we are in a position to inculcate all these qualities in us, then we can personify integrity and not only make it a way of life, but become integrity itself. Thank you.
In the popular movie Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi tells his disciple Daniel-san a lot of advice. My favorite quotes from that movie is when he tells Daniel-san, left side of the road safe, right side safe, middle of the road you get squished like a grape. So now what did he mean when he told this to Daniel-san? So he basically meant that you have to stand for something. If you don't stand for something, then you will fall for anything. My name is Jonathan Correa. I am a second year student studying in the law school of V.M. Salgaonkar, and I am going to be talking about the role of integrity in the lawyer's life. So now, if one person happens to go on Google and types in lawyer jokes, we will find 63 million results. Now isn't that an absurd number? So that shows what do the common people think about lawyers. They really think that we do not have any integrity at all. So now, is this a fact or is this a myth? According to me personally, I believe that this is a myth because there are so many amazing lawyers. So we all know that if someone tells you something bad, you will go and tell it to another 100 people. But if someone tells you a good deed they have done, you won't say anything. So just like this bad news happens to spread, and if someone tells you something good, it just remains. So now we have to remember that good people will always be there, even if there are bad. So we have to just keep on having faith in our lawyers, because in our current times, lawyers are really important to us. We the people who stay in India, we are a democracy, and our people, as we all know, most of them are illiterate. So they don't know their own rights and what they can do. So the lawyer is a very noble profession, because we are the people who are supposed to service the other people and help them in their need. So now how can we help them if we do not have any integrity and if we are greedy people? Because to establish a trust between you and your client, you need to show that you are having interest in their case. You need to have that integrity that they should believe in you, they should trust you. How can they trust you if you behave like this? We have to set a good example for the others. We have so many amazing lawyers like MC Mehta, Falias Nariman, and in all their biographies, if you read about them, they all talk about their fantastic models, their integral code. They all speak about these things. We need to follow a certain code in our life. We need to stand for something, or else there is no point in life. We need to have a set of rules. So now only if we follow this set of rules will we be able to be happy in life. If we act wishy-washy and in one day we choose to be on the good side and other times on the bad side, then we don't have any fixed purpose in life. Only by sticking to ourselves and believing in our models will we be able to be happy in life. So now as we see MC Mehta, he filed so many PILs to help countless people. We too should try our best to little to help the people. At the moment we all know that our judicial system may be a bit bleak. We don't have much faith in it, but things work both ways. Like even in the instance of a bribe. So you need two people in it, the person who gives it and the person who receives it. If one of these people doesn't do it, then it won't exist anymore. So now if we want our lawyers to service us better, to help us, to have that integrity, to show interest, then the other side also should do well. We the people should have faith in our lawyers. We should help them in whatever they need. We should be there for everyone. We should have faith. So this is how we can do well. Okay, so now I'll be talking about my personal experience. So now when I just decided I was going to become a lawyer, I told a lot of my friends, my family, and most of them were quite chill about it. But a few people, especially the oldies in my family, they all asked me this question very seriously. Do you know how to lie? You need to be very careful because the law profession is full of liars. They will do anything to win their case. But this is not true. We need to get rid of this old mentality. This is not true. We need to show the others that there are amazing hardworking people as well. So now I'll talk about you all about a beautiful story I read about a junior lawyer asking his senior lawyer about how can he come to know whether he has argued well. So now the senior lawyer gave him a very interesting answer to his question. So now what did he say to him? So the question was, how can I know whether I have argued well? How can I know whether the client is satisfied with what I have done? So now the senior lawyer answered to him like this. He said that it all depends on you. It does not matter whether the judge passes the case in your favor or not. It all depends on how do you feel after going home that day. Can you look into the face of your client and tell him, yes, I tried my best. And you should have actually tried your best. You should have worked hard. Will you be able to go home and have a good night's rest knowing that you've done your best? And if that is so, then the client too, he will feel satisfied with what you've done. If you've actually put in effort, he will know and he will reciprocate those feelings. He will understand. But if you have just done a bad job and you have just gone for the sake of money, then the client too will be unhappy with you. And you too will start losing clients because people talk. He will tell the others that this person hasn't acted right and all, he has done this and that. So every action has its own consequences. For a lawyer, one case it might just be a matter of money for him, but for the person it is their entire life. It can have a big impact on their future. So we need to take these things seriously. So now to be able to do this, we need to have integrity. We need to be true to ourselves. We need to try our best no matter what. Integrity just doesn't mean just doing the good thing, whether doing the right thing if no one is looking or not. It means standing true to yourself. You shouldn't betray your own morals for anything. You should just look forward and do your best. So I'll give you all the words of Mahatma Gandhi. He said, if you want to change the world, you first have to change yourself. Thank you.
Warm greetings to all my viewers. I am Aishwarya Sinari, a student of VM Salgaonkar College of Law, studying in the 4th year. I'm going to speak about the role of integrity in the life of a law professional. Since ages, the power of a lawyer has always been in the uncertainty of law. We have always said that next to painters, it is only a lawyer who can change things from black to white. But do not be under the impression that the law is the same as justice, because justice needs to be done even though the heavens may fall apart. There are millions of jokes and trolls taking rounds on the internet, perpetuating the myth that law professionals lack ethical values. Myth? Not really. Integrity is really a vanishing virtue among the law professional. They are tarnishing images on the faces of corruption, unchecked greed, and ethical fiascos are all highlights of their professional faux pas. Integrity. It is legacy of an upright conduct. I possess this inborn moral conviction of right and wrong, and that is why I have chosen the profession of law. Because for me, integrity is synonymous with advocacy. It is synonymous with the ability to serve. And I believe that every foot soldier of the Indian Constitution who's wearing black and white must possess this unwavering sense of justice and integrity. A significant majority of the population in India, although not below the poverty line, are chronically poor and underserved. They do not have access to the basic human rights and justice. And a slew of acute problems like communalism, sexist remarks, corruption, marginalized sections of the society face, it is all that they face and they are troubled with it. And the lawyers or the law professionals without the tint or even ounce of ethical values just become mere spectators or silent witnesses of these crippling barriers of the disadvantaged sections of the society. 20 million lawyers in our country, all graduated from the best law colleges. I believe that even a small section of this 120 million lawyers, if they scratch the surface of these chronic problems, can make a difference. Well, we were always here to make a difference. But I feel that over time, the monetary profits superseded this humanitarian satisfaction that we have within. But we can still make a difference by placing heavy premium on our trustworthiness, on our reliability and dependability, and not take the whole profession of this holy grail for granted. But I'm not blaming the lawyers. I believe that the foundation of this very attitude begins in law school, where we are taught in terms of rights and liabilities. Now, this is your client, these are his rights, and these are the liabilities that need to be shed off. Now, these binary thinking that we have is reinforced the minute we enter court, because our court follows an adversarial system. So it's if I win, you lose. There is no midway. There's no coming in between. So lawyers become more competitive and less of a human. So it is high time that we teach the budding lawyers and the ones established to inculcate the values of integrity, to focus on internal integrity, focusing on committing to humanitarian values, committing to social causes, committing to social justice. Because by the common parlance itself, humanities means adhering to the self-imposed commandments of justice, equity, morality, and integrity. It is very important to exercise these traits in a workplace because it will foster a very positive environment. It not only makes the lawyer a very competitive lawyer, but also a formidable opponent in the court of law. What are the things that are necessary for a lawyer to adopt this way of life? First, a lawyer's word must be his bond. He must keep by his word in matters big or small. A lawyer must always build trust and respectful relation with his clients. He must always be amicable, approachable, and very appropriate in his demeanor, because that is what reflects his values and the respect that he holds for other people. A lawyer must always admit his mistakes and lead by example. Do what is right, even when nobody is watching, and that is integrity. Stand for what you believe in, even if it means standing alone, even if it means being subjected to ridicule or rejections. Defend those who cannot defend themselves, and cultivate the pro bono way of work. Pro bono is when you're helping somebody to get justice when you know they cannot afford it. Cultivate the valuable trait of empathy, and do not think that empathy means patronizing your client or being emotionally involved in the case. No, you're not supposed to do that. It is the ability to perceive and respect your client and not being emotionally involved in a case. protect and promote all the people who are in need, be a good citizen of a country, fight the vices like corruption that degrade the development of our country, and appreciate the values of interrelatedness. Do not restrict yourself to painting only a limited canvas. Paint a big canvas. Because real integrity of a law professional is working consistently, tirelessly, corruption-free, virtuously, and regardless of all the circumstances and consequences, with moral courage, to be the change that you want to see. Because hypocrisy is the opposition of integrity, and it is the path of righteousness. Only then we would be in the position to eradicate all the disparities and glaring differences that are spanning within the communities of our country. For this has the potency to prospectively uplift the consciousness for a better India. Let's hope for a better India.